should the expanded college football playoff format change. Now, just as a refresher, I want everybody to read the current criteria, I guess you could say, the current format. So this upcoming, not this season, but next year, 2024, the playoff field will comprise the selection committee's six highest ranked conference champions and its next six highest ranked teams. The four highest ranked conference champions will earn top seeds in a first round bye. The other 8 teams will play in the first round. So as an example, if that had happened this year, here's what it would have looked like. These would have been the top 4 seeds with byes because they all were conference champions. They were the highest ranked 4 teams. And so since they were conference champions, they got first round byes. The next 8 teams, so Clemson and Tulane would have been in it because they were conference champions. But notice, just because they were conference champions, it did not bump them up to numbers 5 and 6. They got in the playoff because they were conference champions. Their ranking was based on their college football playoff ranking. And so Tulane got a bump up because they, were a conference champion, so they're automatic qualifier. 6 highest ranked conference champions. Here's why I think that the answer to this question, should the expanded college football playoff format change? I don't think it's an option. I think it has to, because there may not be 6 conferences. That's the thing. If the Pac-12 goes away, which right now there's only 4 conferences or 4 teams in it, there goes that one. So now the Power 5 is down to Power 4, because that was the whole idea, was you get the 5 Power 5 conference champions and one group of 6 champion or group of 5 champions. So yay, you satisfy everybody's desires there. But that's not going to be the case anymore. So now all eyes really turn to the ACC. If the ACC remains a conference and they absorb the Pac-12's done, it's done. I don't see how they're going to survive. So if the ACC absorbs 2 of those teams, now you have a Power 4. Do you do the 2 highest ranked group of rest of the 5 champions? If so, you could end up with a team that's really ranked 22nd or lower in the poll getting to go to the playoff over teams that are ranked 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like that. So I don't see how they can do that. I think it's going to have to change. And, Greg Sankey, he was already talking about this on Feinbaum earlier in the week. The writing's on the wall. Yes, it will have to be revisited, because the Power 5, as we know it, may no longer be 5. And they're not going to let a team that, won the AAC and they're ranked 20th get in over the 12th through the 19th ranked teams. Surely they won't do that.
Well, just look at this year. I mean, the ACC right now is a slightly above average Clemson and a very unproven Florida State. Florida State could end up being pretty good, but nobody knows if they're going to be yet. They haven't proven anything. So let's say Florida State ends up being pretty good. The rest of the conference is terrible. So Florida State can coast through that conference, beat Clemson, their one decent game, beat Clemson in the conference championship, and they automatically get one of those 4 byes. There are 4 teams in the SEC right now better than Florida State. So how much sense does it make for Florida State to not only make it in the playoff, but get a first-round bye when there's other conferences with multiple teams better than them? So, the whole thing better get scrapped, and they better go to a sheer ranking and strength of schedule process, and pick the true 12 best teams, because this whole first round bye based on what conference you win, that's going to be gone. I mean, like I said, the rumblings I'm hearing is if the ACC does collapse and it's getting close, if a couple teams go to the SEC, a couple teams go to the Big Ten, and the remainder get absorbed by the Big 12, now we don't even have 4 conferences. We have 3. Right. So And like there are people who are very much in the know and behind the scenes on those college campuses saying that's a very real possibility.